Welcome to another edition of Expanding Mind. I'm your host, Eric Davis, continuing, what is this, like our 9th year now of conversations about the cultures of consciousness. I can't believe I've almost been doing this for 10 years. And, you know, when I get interviewed by people, one of the inevitable things, when you write about technology and you write about trends, is people ask you about the future. They go, "Oh, what do you think's going to happen?" I always hated these questions because I'm not much of a futurist in the sense of really like deciding to have my spiel. I actually distrust the way a lot of people talk about the future because it's usually a kind of invitation for their own shtick and their own sort of spin on things. I prefer to keep a mind open to the possibilities. But I can promise you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Without doubt, without question, this year will be weird. And it's not saying much, really, actually, but it's weird for me partly because my book High Weirdness will come out in April, May, and so it's going to be a weird one for me just because I'll be talking a lot about the weird, and I develop a whole idea of what the weird is. It's not just strange fantasy stories by H.P. Lovecraft. It's a whole way of looking at the paranormal, at looking at extraordinary, impossible experience. And it comes out of a whole of my dissertation that I did at Rice University under Jeffrey Kripal. And so that's part of the reason it's going to be weird for me, but I think that's just a fair assessment of what lies ahead. And my approach to that weirdness is to allow things to become a little bit weirder in my own approach. I've always respected scholarship. I respect skepticism. I respect critical distance, questioning, and I'll never stop being a questioner as part of my inquiry. But there's also ways to do that are tighter and looser. And there's also ways to approach the art of conversation, the art of suggestion, the art of possibility. And it's a fine line. In my book, I developed this idea of the tightrope walker, which is where you're able to sort of kind of cross over very strange possibilities, paranoid possibilities, speculative possibilities, entity phenomena, all of the kind of host of oddities that we talk about in this show, along with other things. We don't just talk about the paranormal here. But there's a certain attitude, a certain way of keeping balance, a kind of negative capability that allows you to stay awake and open, but also not really falling into either a kind of typical skepticism or the sort of resolutions of easy belief. And I think this attitude is a very important one to have as we go forward, and the amount of brainwash that comes our way, algorithmic manipulation, fake news, and then our own weird experiences and thoughts and research and how we integrate them. So I'll be sort of trying to hone in on this kind of the mind of the weird explorer as the year progresses. So it's a wonderful way to start off this year talking to Diana Pasulka. She's the author of the new book, American Cosmic, UFOs, Religion, and Technology, which is already receiving deserved praise, not just from fringe dwellers like me and a lot of you, but also people, which also includes my listeners, I'm happy to say, who are interested in these things, but not necessarily already particularly well-versed in matters UFO and strange phenomena and such. And she does that because she approaches this material in a very open, accessible, thoughtful, questioning, and critically informed way that I would say, like my own work, in a different way, is informed by our mutual friend